How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? Well, look at you, Mr. Robert. Hey, Casey. How y'all doing? Can you hear me? I'm going to highlight this one there. Move that up a little bit. Okay. This one tonight is where we're going to be reviewing the lawsuit that Bullhorn Betty has brought against another creator on YouTube. And at one point it was two different creators, but the one creator, Bullhorn Betty, had to remove because she wasn't even in the state. So we're going to take a listen to this girl's name. This creator's name is BurntToast, and she's really super cool. And I reached out to her and asked her if I could share her playlist that she did on this case instead of, going and redoing it, because I felt like hers was really cool. So we're going to take a listen to that tonight and see how this goes.
Okay, what is going on? Oh my gosh, StreamYard is like freaking out over here. My goodness. Okay, can y'all see that now? Good grief. Okay, back in business. Okay, this is what I originally wanted to show you guys. I apologize. It has never done this to me before. Very strange. All right. So we're going to start here. BHB left a comment on Deet's stream that she did last week. And BHB said this: I will be voluntarily dismissing Heels in the Air from the lawsuit due to the fact I have no jurisdiction over her. She'll be able to talk very soon. Well, the way that it works is that after BHB turned in, I guess, whatever she needed to turn in to take Heels off of the lawsuit, it doesn't just automatically come off right away. Queen talked about this after this comment was found. I think she's talked about this, more than once, and said that BHB did in fact put in the paperwork to take Heels off of the lawsuit. However, it has to be signed off by a judge. So the letter that we're going to look at tonight still has Heels listed on there, but it's only because it was printed and sent to all parties before the judge was actually able to sign off on taking her off. But it's my understanding that she will be taken off once it is approved by the judge. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Oh, it's working again. Good. All right. So the first thing I wanted to show you guys is this, just start off right off the bat. Okay. So this is the proof that everybody's been asking for. There were actually several people who DM'd me on Twitter. There have been several people who have tagged me, several people who have sent me emails, because there are weirdos out there that are trying to do, they're trying to have some content because their numbers are low, and they're going around claiming that QueenBee is scamming, that she's lying, that there is no lawyer, that she didn't actually retain anything. And so I wanted to show you guys this. This is in the court docket. And obviously I've redacted all of these. This is obviously, it doesn't say Bullhorn Betty and QueenBee, but I have redacted all of Bullhorn Betty's information, all of Heel's information, and all of Queen's information. Thank you, Tabform TO, member for 8 months. Thank you, I appreciate that. Haley hopes, no worries, Toasty. Evil tries to conquer the truth. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, StreamYard is just being a punk today. There's been several people I've known that. struggle with it today, and I think yesterday too. So, you know, it is what it is. So a couple things before I get into this. One is the deadline for BHB to respond to Queen's lawyer was on the 21st. So that is why I checked it, is because I knew that deadline was coming up. Also, if you notice, all the stuff that I'm going to show you has this in the right-hand corner. This is the stamp that you get from the court clerk that shows that you have purchased these documents from the court docket from the county site. Queen did not give me any of these documents. She did not tell me to do this. I didn't even tell her I was doing this. She didn't even know I was going to do this until after she saw that I had scheduled a live. I did not discuss this with her. I did not ask her permission. I did not get any of these things from her. I went to the public county website. I went to the docket. I registered and I paid money to get these myself. So when you see this up here, I don't know how it is in other states or other counties, but apparently in this county, you will have a stamp up here on the top right-hand corner that shows that you actually purchased it from the county site. It is my understanding, I could be wrong, that Queen's copies do not have this stamp on it. All the things that she has obviously are the original copies. This, or the original form, these are just sort of copies, digital copies that you get off the website. So with that said, none of these were sent to me either. I, again, purchased all of these from the website. Did she respond? That, I don't know, because until it shows up on the docket, we don't obviously know what's going on. Whatever does end up happening will end up on the docket eventually. Thank you, Michael R. Welcome to the dumpster fire. I appreciate that. I have the official docs. Yeah, that's what these are. So if you go this is open to public. Like, I can give you the website. All you have to do is register, and you pay a little bit of money. It's not very much. It's like 10 cents per page. It's very, very cheap. So literally anybody can go on there. And I want to say this too, because there have been, like I said, some people out there that are trying to say that this is a scam or that she didn't actually get a lawyer, and they're wanting proof. And when I send them the website, they get upset. Some people have gotten upset. And they're like, well, I thought you were going to show me proof. And then it's like, I give them the redacted copies, and then they get still mad at me, right? And so here's the thing. You have two choices. You can either look at the redacted ones that I'm going to be showing here tonight, okay? Or you can go on the website and register with your email and pay 10 cents per page and see the unredacted copies. I don't know what more proof you need, because these are the official documents from the court. So if you're expecting Queen to show you like her entire bank account, I don't know what to tell you, because that's not how this works. The money was put in a trust for the lawyer. And as you can see, on July 14th, they officially made a copy. This particular form was called appearance. So if you go on the docket, it's labeled appearance. And this is Bullhorn Betty, plaintiff, QueenBee, defendants. Obviously, heels will be taken off. I covered her name. And it says appearance, Jonathan Phillips. And then his law practice name enters his appearance on behalf of QueenBee. This is the formal court document proving that QueenBee did, in fact, retain a lawyer. Cool. Pro Charlotte Luke, member for 6 months. Thank you so much. I accidentally got a piece of pineapple on my veggie pizza and now in love. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can ever read your comment again. Just kidding. Like, so gross. Like, I love pineapples and I love pizza, but for them to put them together, it's a travesty. Some people are spoiled rotten. Maybe. I don't know. Thank you, Queen. Actually, I'm gonna highlight your comment so it's forever on my screen. The future. There you go. Betty had served me June 21st, and we had to file an answer or dismissal by July 21st. And we did so. Now it's on her to respond. Well, there you go. So, Betty, they're now waiting for Betty to respond. And this is kind of how court cases work. It's like tennis, it's back and forth. So, Queen and her lawyer did what they were supposed to do. And now it's up to Bullhorn Betty. Bullhorn Betty is doing all of this pro se. So, there is no lawyer on Bullhorn Betty's side. So, it is Betty who has to respond. Okay. That was the first thing I wanted to show you guys. Right. So let's get right into the actual document. Okay. So once again, I was going to say StreamYards, don't mess with me today. Should I put pineapple on burnt toast? Blank screen. I'm going to take that wrench. No. No. So as you can see, the red is Heels, the yellow is QueenBee, and the blue is Bullhorn Betty. Again, Heels is still on this particular document because it was before, obviously, the judge signed off or is going to sign off on the fact that Heels was taken off of the lawsuit. So, and if you notice the stamp here, Betty, I bought these. Okay, cool your jets. So this first page says QueenBee, notice and demand for bill of particulars. So I'm not, again, I don't do true crime. So you have to, I apologize if I'm not doing this correctly or whatever, but I've never heard of bill of particulars.
And
so it was very interesting reading this. It says QueenBee through its attorney at Phillips and Baskett PC issues this notice and demands a bill of particulars under and then the numbers. Queen points out the defects below and details desired. So basically what this is it's asking Bullhorn Betty to be actually specific. Like you can't just sue someone in a lawsuit and be like, oh yeah, they did really bad things to me, judge, so I want $150,000. That's not how any of this works. You have to be very, very specific. And I did download the original lawsuit
for $150,000.
Wow. It's an absolute mess of a document. If that's how she wrote lawsuits when she was a paralegal, it is no wonder that she no longer does that for a living. I don't, like, I'm not even a lawyer and I can look at that and be like, what?
And I want to stop for a moment because I want to give just a little bit more of a background as to who QueenBee is. QueenBee is a single mother. She is a single mom, and Bullhorn Betty is suing her for $150,000. Yeah. So let's get back into this. This gets really good, y'all.
What the hell is this? It was pretty bad. Pretty bad. Okay, so it says here in the introduction, pleadings are to consist of plain and concise statement of the claim.
Yes,
each
Casey,
paragraph should be a separate allegation. The complaint fails to do so. Instead, it is pleaded in such a way to repeatedly engage in argument, including citations, compound paragraphs, and characterizations rather than simply alleging facts. Girl, in this first paragraph, her lawyer, wow, this is a legal dragging. For real, okay? What this is essentially saying is that she didn't do any of her shit correctly. Like, this is so embarrassing. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of reading this, because for what, a year and a half, a year and change, she has been doing nothing but screaming from the rooftops that she is an expert in the law and that she knows the law better than all of us. And it's just like, yeah, bro, but like, this ain't it. This is not how you do this. And when I was reading, after I read this, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and pay for and download the original lawsuit to find out what the lawyer's talking about. Thank you, Hooves on the board. No wonder she lost her PA license. Derp. Well, I don't know about that, because I think in Florida, they don't require a license there, because it's Florida. That's their rule there. Okay. But so I was reading the lawsuit and it read like her community tab post on her YouTube page. For real. In fact, I may do another live stream just going over the lawsuit itself. It is,
I know,
it
Robert,
is very
right?
lousy. Oh, it's very lousy. But yes, it is correct, because it's not plain. It says here, pleadings are to consist of plain and concise statement of the claim. And she isn't concise or plain in her pleading at all. And it does read like here it says it was repeatedly engaged in arguments, including citations and characterizations, rather than simply alleging facts. For someone who claims that she is all about not being emotional, she was very emotional in the lawsuit. Very emotional. So many times in there, she goes off on tangents. I know, right? She's making characterizations. It seems like that she's trying to argue instead of actually just stating and sticking to the facts. And then when you get down to what it is she's actually claiming, it's not clear and it's all over the place. I love Mystery Maven the most, but she is too polite. Oh, I love her so much. She's fantastic. Hooves on the board. I keep wanting to say hooves on the ground. I was being facetious. There is no PA license. Gotcha. You're dying for real. I am too, girl. Like, what? This is the best you can do. This is your, like, I've spent a whole month and I showed this to my YouTube friends and they say I have a really strong case. Y'all remember all these people that were going around saying, oh my God, her lawsuit is so fantastic. Yeah, an actual lawyer says otherwise. It's really not. Okay, then yeah, I will definitely review the original lawsuit, because like I said, I did purchase that today as well and I was reading through it. It's a lot. So I will definitely be doing that in a live stream in the future for sure. Patricia Sell, hey, what's up? Thanks for doing your homework, Toasty. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Betty really should have hired Darnell Brooks.
Yeah, BurntToast
Objection, Your
really
Honor.
Did her homework on this.
You missed my comment before that. Lying. I want to see Emily D. Baker really go over this. She's not polite. Ooh, that would be interesting. Yes, maybe she should. That would be very interesting. I'd totally watch that.
Yeah.
My lawyer laughed his ass off. Really, Patricia?
And see, it seems that most creators
there are a couple of people in my audience, some of them with wrenches, some of them with that do not have wrench, who are actual licensed attorneys. And they looked at it and they were like,
the good ones anyway. Because there are some really bad ones. How you
do that. So they got a nice little chuckle out of it. Sandra Miller, member for 6 months. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So first paragraph, he's coming out hot. So then it says, Illinois is a fact pleading jurisdiction, which requires factual allegations, not mere notice pleading. So every sentence in here is just like, dagger. It's so great. And QueenBee acknowledges the complaint is prepared by a pro se plaintiff. Even so, Bullhorn Betty must follow the rules. Oh my gosh. Imagine Betty having to follow the same rules that everybody else has to follow. The horror. He cites several different actually relevant citations, Betty. Might want to notice that. Third paragraph. This is especially the case with a party such as Bullhorn Betty. And this is where it gets really good. Vanity Fair has described Bullhorn Betty as petulating harassment of innocent people, quotes, and then listed the citation from that article and the website where you can read where Vanity Fair called Bullhorn Betty, among other things, unscrupulous. Oh my God, so great. Next, it says Bullhorn Betty has filed at least one lawsuit for improper purposes. Oof. Damn, it's almost like your past
wasting
is coming back to bite you, girl. All these things that you did to try to fuck over people. Man, that sucks for you. Wow. Thank you, Good Egg. Listen, if there's ever a streamed hearing in this case, I'm sending it straight to Law Talk with Mike, coming to you from Chicago, to do his Karen in court commentary. I would love that. I don't know who that is, but just by the title, I am for that. I am absolutely for that. You know those websites where it actually shows like live streams of like funny incidences in courts, whether it's criminal or civil, and there's like, it's either a Zoom call or it's an actual court proceeding where people are in there in person, and it ends up making it on these YouTube channels where it's somebody who says something weird or they get up and they got no pants on, you know. You could relate to that, Betty, can't you? Or it's people who like scream and yell and lose their temper, you know, the crazy incidences in court. I think that if it is ended up being live streamed, it may end up on one of those channels. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. The fourth paragraph says, Betty has filed at least one lawsuit for improper purposes. She sued the parent of an accused murderer for removing a sign she allegedly contributed money toward, but she did not do so for money damages. According to Insider, during a phone interview, she told it, quote, she filed the lawsuit as a strategy to push the Laundries to speak out about their son's connection to Petito's death, end quote. She added about her suit against the, quote, dirty Laundries.
The state of Florida.
She referred to them that, quote, I'm not invested in the lawsuit. It's something that is going to keep this relevant. It's something that's going to drive the Laundries a little nuts. Wow, Betty, you probably should not have said that. Yikes. Because you know what that is, Betty? That's called a pattern of behavior. And judges, including the fake judge that you claim that you worked for all those years ago, who's now a supposed federal judge that apparently doesn't also exist, allegedly in Minecraft, of course. It's like judges do not appreciate people who waste the court's time and money with nonsense like this. People who are just frivolously filing lawsuits just to piss someone off, just to dox someone, just to harass someone. Judges do not like that. So it'll be interesting to see if the judge feels that you are doing that in this case. I don't know. We shall see. Judge thinking, how the hell did a piece of burnt toast get into this? Is this a joke? Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she, in the original lawsuit, she actually has screenshots of my tweets as exhibits in her lawsuit, guys.
That's about the most ignorant thing I've ever heard.
But she's suing Queen. But she puts my tweets in there. If y'all can make sense out of that, I mean,
Make it
I
make
don't,
sense.
it doesn't make any sense. And it's not relevant to anything that she's claiming. Again, it's like a massive 100 and something page community tab post. I mean, it's just, that's kind of how it reads, like a massive manifesto of her rambling about the haters. It's ridiculous. And it gives a link to the insider.com article where they quote her admitting that she had filed a lawsuit that she was not really invested in, and quote, something that is going to keep this relevant, something that's going to drive the laundries a little nuts. It said a Florida woman is suing Brian Laundrie's dad for $40. She says it's an effort to, quote, break their silence
$40
around Gabby Petito's death. Insider, October 19th, 2021. And then there's the link for it. Facts patterns are important when you have serial litigious ducks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Does she think you're queen? No, she absolutely does not think that. I mean, that would be, I mean, she thinks I'm like 8 other people, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't think I'm queen. I just thought, I think, and this is my opinion, I wonder if she thinks that that was somehow going to like make her case stronger, but it doesn't really make sense, but that's just, it's how her brain works, I guess. I mean, you've been everyone else at this point. I mean, right? Is there any evidence? Is there any change BHB's, oh, I'm sorry. Is there any chance BHB's federal judge friend can save a hoe? I mean, nothing's impossible. He may swoop right in and be like, I'll save you, Bullhorn Betty. I'm real. Atomic Karen. We at Karen and Felicia Incorporated prepare only the best briefs, but thongs are our specialty. That is the best comment of the night. Damn. Oh, okay. I'm going to feature that. I've got to feature that because that was fantastic. Where is it? Oh, where is it? I'm going to feature it. Oh, StreamYards, you suck. Ugh. Never mind. Can't find it. But yeah, that is definitely the best comment of the night. I had that on video too when she said it in December when they were in Tennessee. Yep. A lot of people have that clip. I wouldn't be surprised if she did think that. I know MGL was in someone's comments a few days ago telling people BurntToast was a lady. She's not. I mean, how sad is that, right? Like she got kicked off of YouTube and she can't just like go get a job or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't think the court can order the laundries to volunteer info that could harm them. Oh, no, the judge wouldn't do that. But just the fact that she was quoted in an article, in a phone interview that she agreed to and signed off on, that she admitted that she was essentially filing a frivolous lawsuit just to drive people nuts. So that is the part that the judge is going to look at and be like, that's not a good thing. Thank you, Fit and Curvy, and Urban Dictionary next to fuck around and find out. Now we see BHB with her thinning hair and shaking coffee mug as she starts the finding out part of the phase. So well said. The next paragraph says, while pleadings should be constructed to do justice, BHB cannot shirk pleadings. Shirk pleading requirements to harass QueenBee. Oh, Betty, it gets so much better. I hope you're listening. Queen intends to defend the suit, but she must know what exactly she's being accused of. Thus, a bill of particulars is necessary. So in the 100 and something page lawsuit that Betty is so incredibly proud of, at no point did she actually be concise and clear about what it is she was actually suing Queen for. It's, like I said, it's an absolute mess. There are 2 primary issues rendering it impossible for Queen to respond to. First, because it is only alleged, quote, defendants did things, certain things, it is unclear which allegations are made against Queen and which against Heels. Second, because of references to a spreadsheet with links to YouTube videos and dozens of screenshots do not actually describe what actions or statements are problematic, Queen does not know what she is being accused of doing or saying. So if you heard that correctly, in the lawsuit, there is an entire, very poorly put together spreadsheet in quotations. I'm doing air quotes right now. It's an absolute mess. It is unorganized. It doesn't actually answer what it is that she's so mad about. And this is correct. It doesn't actually say, I'm suing Heels because of XYZ. And then over here, I want to sue Queen for XYZ over here. And now it gets even more confusing because now she is trying to take Heels off of the website, which I don't see why it wouldn't go through. I think at this point, they're just waiting for a judge to actually approve it. So I'm under the understanding that Heels will be eventually taken off the website, off the lawsuit. However, when that occurs, Bullhorn Betty, because she was not clear or concise about what it is she's actually accusing the two of doing, she now has to rewrite the entire lawsuit all over again to actually specifically say what it is that Queen did to her that caused her such emotional distress. And yes, you heard that right. The woman who goes on YouTube, and I've reviewed this multiple times recently, where she's talking about how she has no emotional, like she doesn't get emotional on YouTube, doesn't affect her, and that people just need to stop and be logical about things, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes and sues someone claiming emotional distress. I can't. It's so ridiculous. Thank you, Good Egg. She used a lawsuit last time to force Crude AF to delete everything and criticized her. And it worked. She thought it would work again. I don't think she expected QueenBee to respond appropriately, and that is correct. And yeah, with Queen, Queen is not going to back down. She got a lawyer just like Crude did, but Queen's lawyer is approaching this in a very different, more assertive manner. Because thankfully, her lawyer understands that this is all bullshit and that the goal of Bullhorn Betty, it seems, in my opinion, to be harassing, just like it says earlier in the other page, page 2, I think. It is for the purposes of harassing Queen, and it's not actually clear about what Queen did to her to begin with. Oh, it says, I don't blame Crude. She was harassing his family. He wanted it to stop. I completely concur with that. I am friends with Crude. I got his back even to this day. I do not judge him or criticize him at all for what he did. Everybody's going to do what they got to do, what they think is best for their particular situation and family. So I don't blame him at all. But I will say that Queen's lawyer is definitely reacting very differently than Crude's lawyer did. We need some
popcorn.
Hooves on the board, thank you so much. Both BHBs need to join and run an HOA in trailer park. Okay. Hopefully it will discourage her from doing this again. I mean, I would think so. I mean, you shouldn't do this to someone unless it's for an actual real reason. And I think this is, in my opinion, I think she's just using the court to throw a tantrum, to lash out. And I think that's pretty shitty. I think it's very shitty. And I think, in my opinion, she picked Queen because she thought, some single mom who, may not have the funds to just shell out all this money for a lawyer. I'll go after her and she won't be able to defend herself. Well, thankfully, there were a awesome communities, plural, of people who said, yeah, we're not going to stand for that no more. And you guys
It's always nice.
And your donations is why she's able to defend herself and to protect her family. So I thank you. I also donated, and I would do it again, and I probably will do it again.
I am very proud of
yeah.
the
So the
way
more that these people bitch and
stepped
complain about how
to help
Queen is
Queen
getting all this money, the
get
more
this
you
lawyer and
complain,
defend
the more
herself
donations she
against
gets. So just think
against
about that.
Bullhorn Betty. It's amazing how
It
this
goes on to
community
say,
has come together for her.
Okay, let me go back. 4th page. Defects complained of or details desired. Number 8. And it lists a whole bunch of different parts of her lawsuit. And it says in all of these parts and in 39, reference things that defendants allegedly do or do not do. It is not specified which defendant allegedly did what. Queen cannot know what allegations are leveled at her versus Heels, plaintiff, should be required to plead with specificity which persons engaged in which supposed actions, which is only fair. It was absolutely ridiculous for her to put both of them on the same lawsuit to begin with. They don't live in the same state. And she, again, wasn't clear on the original lawsuit
You're an angel.
about which person did what. She just kept saying defendants, 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 as if they were like the same person. Next paragraph. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go on. In 16, citing the lawsuit, plaintiff complains with general descriptions of supposedly defamatory statements. The who, what, when, where, and how of these statements should be pled. Right. So when you do a lawsuit, I mean, I'm, again, not a lawyer, not a judge, but it seems to be pretty, like for me, common sense that you need to be as specific as possible. I mean, that's kind of what this is.
I got you back.
You're supposed to narrow it down to every nitty-gritty detail, and she just didn't do that. Does anyone know if this case be heard in front of Judge Judy? No. It's not that kind of case. No, it's going to go in front of an actual judge. No offense, Judge Judy. Okay, girl, love you. But it's going to go in front of a judge where it's not going to be TV fodder. She probably copied all of this out of her Black Laws dictionary. I suspect that there was probably a lot of copy pasting done. Oh, this'll work. Oh, I got the book. I'll just copy out of here. And I'm pretty sure that's probably what she did. Heels was improperly joined regardless of jurisdiction. That is absolutely correct. Heels should have never been on this lawsuit. And I truly believe, it is my opinion that they only added Heels just to dox her out. That's my opinion on that. Number 10, it says in the 18th section and subparts, Queen fails to provide enough evidence or facts to know what allegedly defamatory statements were made. General accusations with plaintiff's characterizations of what was said are insufficient for Queen to know whether it was her that allegedly said or did something, let alone what she is alleged to have said. So once again, Bullhorn Betty is just being Bullhorn Betty. She's saying random things, making generalizations about things, and she's not clear. She's not actually able to prove, one, that it's Queen saying it, and two, what it is that Queen allegedly is saying that is so defamatory. Because it's not just like, oh, they hurt my feelings. She has to prove that it was actually defamatory, and there's requirements for that. And her lawsuit, the way that it's written right now, does not prove that. It's not even clear enough to even go to court yet. And that's what's so, like, for me, surprising, that it's such a mess that they can't even go to court yet because it's not clear enough to even litigate. Like, it's such a mess. Mo, thank you so much. Is BHB beginning to become a broken record? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Because this is lolsy as fuck, I have to say. I've never reviewed anyone that did something like this. So for me, it's very entertaining. Thank you, Lisa. And to warrant a $150K judgment. Yeah. Betty, you got to prove that. You have to provide actual evidence that that is the amount of money that you lost. But it's a catch-22, upsetty Betty, battery Betty. It's a catch-22 because you can't have it both ways. You can't come on this platform and claim that you did not make all this money off the backs of those babies, and then also claim that you don't make money off the backs of those babies, because you've been saying since Quentin Simon's case, and even Summerwell's before that, that you hardly make any money on here. And then you go into a lawsuit and write that you've lost $150K. Math ain't mathin', girl. Math ain't mathin'. Watch Betty remove Heel's name, change defendants to defendant throughout the document, and turn it back in. Probably. I kind of hope she does. Oh, it'd be more content. So that would be great. Thank you, Good Egg. Oh, okay. I think the real BHB is actually somebody trolling, and they're sometimes funny, you know, and they don't really do much harm. So I, most of the time, just leave them in here. I'm not really sure who it is, but it's not Bullhorn Betty, but I'm pretty sure that they're just fucking around. FYI. Thank you, Neat. The receipts BHB used in her lawsuit were like trying to return something to Bloomingdale's with a Walmart receipt. Oh my God, I love your analogy. That's great. Wow. How does your law system work in our country? If she did this and didn't respond, or she lost, she is automatically liable to pay QueenBee's legal fees. Is it the same in America? I think it is based on the state or county. There are some counties that allow you to recoup all of the fees that you had to pay, and then some that do not allow you to do that. I'm not prepared to know if that's the case here. I will say this, is that there more than likely will be a countersuit. So that'll be fun. Thank you, Mo. FYI, folks, Toast is not Fat Yoshi. Just because they sound the same, Toast likes butter, Jules likes swings, even though she doesn't know how they work. That is very true. Facts. Went right over her head that this was publicly admitting she's a tragedy pimp, huh? Saw this coming when she filed. This lawyer is chef's kiss. Oh, her lawyer is fantastic. Just based on reading this, I'm like, she's got a good one. Oh, for real? I figured it was a troll, but on that note, if Betty was actually in here, please, mods, do not block or delete anything she says. Yes. Yeah, I have a rule on my channel. If I review you, I don't block you. So if Bullhorn Betty does eventually do come in here, don't block her, don't time her out. Just let her, give her some rope. Okay, I like giving people rope because it's way more fun that way. The next paragraph says, for those statements or actions that are not for defamatory in 18's subparts, it is unclear what is being alleged. For example, some defendant reached out to another unidentified suspects alleging BHB was threatening and harassing another unidentified them, which could be either defendants or the suspects. I mean, right. She was posting random tweets that Queen didn't even tweet. That's crazy to me. She was going through Queen's Twitter and said, oh my God, Queen retweeted this tweet. And she took a picture of something Queen retweeted and put it in her thing as evidence. Hey, what's up, Navy? I mean, that's not evidence, Betty. Just because somebody retweets something on Twitter, that's not against the law. And it's certainly not defamation.
What I mean, this is what she put in the lawsuit.
Oh my God. Even if Queen did tweet something, you would still have to prove that it was defamatory. But the fact that you're putting things in your lawsuit where Queen was just retweeting somebody else's tweet, girl, stop it.
I don't know.
I'm getting secondhand embarrassment right now. Let's see. The plaintiff attempts to rely on a spreadsheet, Exhibit D, with links to videos she claims are inflammatory, along with her characterization of what was said. Queen should not have to watch entire YouTube videos to determine which alleged statements fit plaintiff's characterization of what was said. The plaintiff should be required to plead facts, the who, what, when, where, and how, alleging the supposed defamation. So Bullhorn Betty's idea of evidence was to list a title, a stream that Queen did on her channel, and say, this is evidence, and then expects like Queen to watch, or Queen's lawyer to watch like a 4-hour live stream and guess as to what parts Bullhorn Betty's upset about? No, Betty, that is not how you do that. You have to, again, be very concise and specific about what it is that has got you in so much of a tizzy. Okay. And let me tell you, it wasn't just one 4-hour live stream, guys. It was
YouTube
a lot of links, like probably 20, if I were to remember correctly. I just looked at it today. Probably 20 different links, maybe more. And she expects Queen and her lawyer to spend the next 5 years watching all of these super long ass live streams and figure out and guess which parts Bullhorn Betty is upset about. That is beyond ridiculous. Like, seriously. If you wanted to sue someone so bad, Betty, you should probably sue that, quote, school that you went to that told you that you're now a paralegal. For real. Because they did you no favors if they gave you an AA in paralegal studies and that's how you write a lawsuit. Girlfriend, I know people who never even went to college who were somehow able to go on Google and learn how to properly write something and be more specific than yours was. Like, that is ridiculous. I'm getting first and secondhand embarrassment from this. I mean, for real.
I know, right? This is pitiful.
Audit coming, LMAO. Defamatory with malicious intent. That is correct. What a joke. It is a joke. And this is why actual attorneys, including, I don't know about Queen's lawyer, but the lawyers that are in my chat that are licensed attorneys, okay, see this and they're like, you've got to be joking. She actually turned this in and thought it was good? What? I hope she mentions her phone call to nonsense which she thought
and I'm just an ogre. Ain't nothing special.
I don't know. I haven't read through the whole lawsuit, but as far as I know, I don't think that nonsense is mentioned. I mean, why would she mention that, right? Because then she'd have to admit to more harassment. Oh God, so great. Hooves on the board was that the meme that I created? She retweeted. I'm gonna have to go back and look. I'm telling you, I'm definitely reviewing it now. There's no way, y'all. It's so fucking funny. It's so funny. I got about like halfway through and then I skimmed through to the bottom where it was all of the YouTube links, and I was like, are you kidding me right now? This is what you're so proud of, guys. Oh boy. Oh my God. Let's see. And then here's another one. It says, similarly, reliance on Exhibit E, reference in 30, as consisting of statements about BHB consisting of dozens of screenshots, does not say what statements are supposedly defamatory. Queen should not have to determine which statements are supposedly defamatory and then respond. Plaintiff should be required to plead facts, the who, what, when, where, and how, alleging the supposed defamation. So again, there were tons of YouTube links and there were also tons of screenshots. There were screenshots of my tweets, screenshots of other people's tweets, and none of it made sense. None of it was relevant, and none of it was from Queen, which is pretty hilarious. The lawyer who represents Queen is awesome. Oh, so far, I like this dude. Like, he's doing, yeah. Yeah, this is, Betty should take JLR's advice and get an actual attorney because, wow. But you know what? For the sake of my channel, go ahead, Betty. Keep going pro se. It's way funnier that way. 14, paragraph 14. In 33, plaintiff fails to describe the agreement she was to have with YouTube LLC. So yet another part that she did not include.
The judge in
Number
this case
15,
is making her show
in
up into
the
court
35th
in
part,
Illinois.
Plaintiff alleges that unspecified
Knox
statements
County,
made
Illinois.
in videos listed in Exhibit D or
And
in
it's still
dozens of screenshots in Exhibit E support her claim for tortious interference. Probably butchered that.
Single mom
Tortious
tied
interference,
up
I
in a
think.
lawsuit.
Plaintiff should be required to plead facts, the who, what, when, where, and how, alleging what statements are supporting the claim of tortious interference, or the allegations can be addressed by Queen. So again, it's like every single section, she is not actually saying anything. It is the personification of word salad, pretty much. Thank you, Patricia. Welcome. And thank you for the 10 memberships. Maddie, Lorton Girl, Hazel, France, Let's Go, Navy, Independent Thinker, Sharon, Luann. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire. Thank you, Good Egg. The attorney is a legal assassin. Yes, he is. Straight to the point with just the right amount of devastating shade. Oh, the devastating shade. I like that. That's a good line. It's legal shade. Devastatingly legal shade. I love it. Aunt B, member for 1 month. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What happens if Betty doesn't respond to this? I don't know. I think that she has to, or it's going to get thrown out. A Good Egg, please correct me if I'm wrong about that. But I'm pretty sure that this is like,
if she don't respond, it's going to get thrown out.
Because ultimately, what this bill of particulars is saying at the end of the day is this, okay? In layman's terms. Hey, Bullhorn Betty, your lawsuit is shit. It doesn't say anything. It's not specific. It's very argumentative and not fact-based. And you got to rewrite the whole fucking thing again. That's essentially what it's saying. And if she doesn't rewrite it again and correct what she needs to correct, then there really isn't a lawsuit. And then the fun begins. Can't wait. BHB truly wants the judge to sit and watch every video start to finish, right? Especially when, okay, let's just devil's advocate here. Say the judge actually says, you know what? I'm going to sit down and spend 4 or 5 hours watching one of these live streams. The fact that Betty didn't actually say what part of that live stream she's claiming to be defamatory, what is it about the live stream that's so bad? The judge is not going to know what to actually look for. So it just doesn't make sense. Thank you, Just Larry. On a serious note, how has her family not stepped in and done an intervention? If this was my sister, I'd be cutting her internet cords and admitting her for help. I have no idea. I know that she's talked about how she has a estranged relationship with her father, and that she has had ups and downs as far as like going years without speaking and then years of speaking with some of her siblings. Her mom seems to coddle her, and that's my opinion, because Bullhorn Betty will go live and say the most vile things. I mean, like disgustingly vile things about
She's even
victims.
strangled her own
And
mother.
then she starts to
There's
get
a
heat
DV
about it in the
charge
chat.
against her in
Then her
Florida
mom
for
calls
doing that
in
very thing.
and scolds everybody about how good of a person Bullhorn Betty is. So, I mean, there
Bye,
seems
Robert.
to be a lot of
Thanks for
enabling and
joining
coddling
us.
going on. Thank you. Stacy, welcome to Mr. Fire. Like your name. Gizmo member for 1 month. Thank you so much. This is so fun. Oh, it has just begun, because let me tell you, the lawsuit is even funnier.
This is crazy.
1 second. It's infuriating. The person that screams about her rights is trying to take away others. Isn't that interesting? What's up, Six Up? How you doing? Yeah, isn't that interesting? Because I don't see Queen suing her. I'm not suing her. Current AF didn't sue her. And now it's like, I hope that Queen does countersue her. If anything, just to say, you know what, you're not going to slander me and get away with it after you just harassed me and made me have to pay for a lawyer. So in this case, I do hope that Queen does sue the absolute fuck out of her. And I will absolutely donate to that
Queen
too.
has a countersuit against her. She's going to go after her big time.
She better be careful. I saw a clip today of her accusing Leilani's mom. Oh, I saw that true crime. That was so vile. And see, that's exactly, that's a really good example of what I was talking about. She goes around and says the most vile things about all these people with absolutely no proof, none whatsoever. And then wants to turn around and be like, this person's defaming me, when Queen hasn't. So yeah, I think this is one of those, she's about to find out. Bitch Talks, member for 17 months. Thank you. Thank you so much. Miss Nobody, member for 1 month. Thank you. I appreciate that. Denise Oles, member for 2 months. You got me rolling. I mean, this is pretty funny. Oh, there you go. Good egg. According to the statute, QueenBee has the right to request a bill of particulars Betty must do, or she must file a motion explaining why QueenBee is not entitled to the particulars request. Well, there you go. So I guess we're waiting for Betty to respond in either of those two ways. This is what we call the idiot's guide of lawsuit and what not to do for a lawsuit. That is correct. Southern Mimi, member for 5 months. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so the next paragraph 16, says basically the same thing. Plaintiff alleges that unspecified statements made in the video listed in Exhibit D or in dozens of screenshots in Exhibit E were statements meant to cause emotional harm.
This is just to get her followers
should be required to
send her
plead
money,
facts, the
and
who,
for her to
what,
try
when,
to
where,
shut
and
up
how,
other ones
alleging
for pointing out
what
her stupid,
statements
idiotic stuff.
are do so. Queen should not have to watch entire YouTube videos to determine which alleged statements fit the plaintiff's theory. So she's not just claiming defamation, she's also claiming emotional distress. So she's got to be very clear about what exactly Queen has said or done that constitutes that. If she fails, and thank you, Good Egg, if she fails to file a bill of particulars in 28 days, or if it is insufficient, judge could dismiss her complaint or could give her more time to do it again, LOL. So no way out for Betty. Aww, I love that for you. I guess you're just stuck. I love that. This is fantastic. She's not even going to be able to get out of this lawsuit, even if she wanted to. Oh, that just made my day. Oh, that's great. Love it. Peggy, thank you so much. Once upon a time in true crime channel. Thank you so much. Next paragraph 17. In
Betty
sum,
is
for each
trying
allegedly
to
problematic
just get
statement
more
or action,
followers and more members,
BHB should
so
be
Betty can
required
make
to
more money.
state who made the
That's
statements
basically what,
or undertook the action,
because she's already
what the
talking,
action
I
was
have
or
a
statement was with
national
precision
platform or a
and when
worldwide
it was
platform.
stated
I might
or
choose
undertaken.
Woman.
Typical pleading should include more, but that may be saved for a motion to dismiss. For now, Queen simply needs to know what allegations she's facing. So, another zinger. I hope Queen doesn't agree to non-disclosure upon settlement. Oh, there won't be a settlement. That's why she has a lawyer. She's absolutely going to be fighting this. There will be no settlement. Okay. Crude did a settlement where it's like, oh, he paid her $500. Well, there were two cases.
No way in hell.
The first one was
$500.
thrown out. She didn't do well on that. The second one ended up being a settlement because she didn't want to go back to face the same judge. So that was an actual settlement. In this case, no, they're actually going to court. And here's the other thing that's also going to happen. And this is pretty delicious. So this is what's going to happen as it proceeds. Like, just say that Bullhorn Betty fills out the paperwork correctly this time and they continue to move on. What's going to happen then is two things. You're going to go into the deposition phase, which is going to be fantastic for all of us. That's a big if. Yes, it's definitely a big if. So I will correct myself. If we get into the deposition phase of the case, what will happen is that Bullhorn Betty will be deposed. That means that Queen's lawyer will have Bullhorn Betty travel all the way to Queen's state and get her on the record as to what her allegations and claims are. But you know what that also means? That means that Bullhorn Betty is then going to need to depose Dolly Vision and JLR and possibly even Molly Golightly, because she named them in her lawsuit, specifically Dolly. In fact, there's one part of it where there's like 3 sections that she's complaining about. One section,
yes, she even included all of these
predicated on something that was said, supposedly, allegedly, about Dolly. That means that Bullhorn Betty is going to have to pay thousands of dollars to have Dolly travel from wherever he lives to Illinois and sit and be sworn in under oath and answer questions and get him on the record for the case. Hey, Betty, did you tell Dolly that could possibly happen while he's on his channel making defamatory statements about Queen? A lot. Because this whole time, all these people are just running their damn mouths on their channel, saying all this crazy shit, right? Talking about the case, talking about Queen. Today, Bullhorn Betty did like a little mini rant that we're going to watch at the end of the stream tonight, where she's yet again hurling accusations at Queen. And I'm just like, God, y'all are so dumb. You continue to speak on it, continue to trash, or not just trash, but like blatantly lie about what Queen has done or not done or said and not done, said or not said or whatever. So I hope Dolly understands that if we get to the part of the case where it goes into the deposition phase, Betty is going to have to depose him. She's going to have to shell out the money to pay for it, and he's going to have to show up in person. You can't Skype or Zoom that shit, okay? He's going to have to go in person and do it. And if he refuses, then that pretty much deflates the major part of what she's complaining about in the lawsuit. So I don't understand why she's dragging her friends into this, considering that Dolly has been public about his current legal issues that he is still dealing with right now. But she's dumb. This is what dumb people do. Let me see what's going on. Dolly said he will be there to cover it and sell shirts. Oh, no, cheesy. He will definitely be there for a deposition if we get to that point. So he will have to be deposed before we get to the point where he's going to be there to sell shirts. So I love that for him. I love that. Valentine Bilby, remember 14 months? Thank you. I appreciate that.
I know this is some shit.
How's she going to come up with the money? She ain't got no
Dolly
job.
lives in Virginia.
No,
So
she doesn't. And I think that's why she's really upset
Northern Illinois.
that Queen was able to raise the money to retain the lawyer that was able to do all of this.
Or not her, but
this is why you
the
need a lawyer.
Is.
And you don't do these things by yourself. Even lawyers will get a lawyer if they're being sued. They're not even going to represent themselves.
No, because
I'm not even going to say that out loud. That's hilarious.
Client.
So yeah. So if we do get to the deposition phase, it will not just be Dolly being deposed and possibly other people, depending on what is needed. But Bullhorn Betty herself will be deposed by Queen's lawyer. And then also, Betty is going to have to start providing evidence.
Is this better?
She's going to have to provide, well, if she's suing for emotional distress, and for that much money, she's going to have to provide financial records and some kind of medical or
how about now
mental health proof to back up her claims. So, next page. Conclusion. Undersigned has been unable to meet or confer with Bullhorn Betty concerning the need for particulars. And this is my most favorite part out of all of the 7 pages, 8 pages.
Let Loki outside. He's outside. Apparently,
now, so Bullhorn Betty did a Bullhorn Betty thing.
Start going crazy.
So this is what number 19 says. While Bullhorn Betty stated she was, quote, happy to work with you on this matter as I am opposing counsel by way of representing myself, end quote, she added, quote, I'm going to demand that you discontinue communication with her until we are before the judge to dismiss this very matter, end quote, in a July 20th, 2023 email. So that made me spit out my coffee because, oh my God, Bullhorn Betty, in her absolute geniusness, apparently emailed Queen's lawyer and said, basically, hey, you're Queen's lawyer. I'm pro se. I'm going to represent myself. So, and even though we're supposed to work together to work out this lawsuit, I'm going to have you like not contact me ever again. And I don't want to speak to you until we're in front of a judge. So
can you believe
you know what
that?
This means, right, guys? Oh my God. She told the opposing counsel, don't talk to me. I'm crying for real. Y'all understand what this means? She basically told Queen's lawyer, don't contact me. I don't want to talk to you until we are physically standing in front of a judge. Do y'all understand what that means? That means that from this point on, which is so early in the process, like months and months, possibly a year early in the process, from now until a year from now, or however long it takes to actually get to the point where they're standing in front of a judge, that means at any time, if Bullhorn Betty wants to complain or ask a question or need help, and she has to contact Queen's lawyer, that means Queen's lawyer gets to ignore her and not respond.
She just shot herself in the own foot.
Oh my God.
I told you this was going to get good.
Betty, you are so dumb. Oh my God. I can't even put into words how dumb this is, Betty. You fucked yourself. Why did you do that? I thought the lawsuit was bad enough, but girl, you sent him an email. You said it in writing for him never to contact you until you get in front of a judge. Oh my God. Who does that? Oh my God. Oh my God. I just want to thank Bullhorn Betty right now. Thank you, Betty. After the week that we all had, I really appreciate this. This is pretty much made up for the shitty week that many of us have had. And I truly, from the bottom of my heart, this little quote, little Indian girl, bullshit girl, you know, that one, I just want to thank you. Thank you, Betty. This was so much lols, and there's more to be had because the lawsuit is so great. Oh my God, it's so great. I just want to thank you. Yeah, this is fantastic, Betty. I love this for you. Okay.
This is hilarious.
Oh my God. I can't stop laughing about it. And the number 20 says, thus this notice and demand for bill of particulars is filed and plaintiff Bullhorn Betty is provided 28 days to file and serve a bill of particulars addressing the above deficiencies. Respectfully submitted, QueenBee, by way of lawyer, and then the lawyer's name with his number beside it. So, and then of course I blurred this out because this was BHB and her information, and then Heels and her information. And even though 2 of the 3 people involved in this lawsuit are doxing pieces of shit, apparently, I don't do that.
Me too,
so
Casey.
Regardless of
and I
somebody
really
calling me a
love how
whore and
she
a bitch
has
50,000 times,
redacted.
I'm not going to dox you, so
not
I
shown,
did cross out all of your information,
and stuff.
and
I
I'm
really
hoping
like
that
too.
new things that are added to the docket in the days to come will no longer have a particular name on it, so I don't even have to block it out anymore. QB's lawyer keeps fucking her. Her illegal background gonna kick in allegedly. Oh my gosh. I missed it. What did she do now? Well, Glinda, Bullhorn Betty told Queen's lawyer not to contact her again in any way until they stand in front of a judge, which is like the most moronic thing I have ever heard someone do in a lawsuit. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. One of the many things that are going to happen. What's inevitable is that there's going to come a time where Bullhorn Betty is going to be upset about something, have a question about something, need clarification about something, or need to communicate something. And she's going to try to contact the lawyer, and he is going to be ignoring you, Betty. And then there's going to be added complication and added annoyance on your part, Betty, because it's not going to annoy Queen's lawyer. It's only going to be annoying for you, Betty. This is why you are fucking yourself at this point. And then when you stand in front of a judge and the judge asks why there wasn't more communication between the two counsel, Betty has to stand in front of a judge and say, Judge, I told him to fuck off. That was, I told him to not talk to me anymore. I told him to fuck off, Judge. That was me. I'm the moron. Oh God, this is so great. Please say you'll be doing updates. Oh, heck
and
yeah.
I can hear
yes,
Betty
I will be
saying something
Even
like
Lady
that.
Justice is
and
taking her blindfold off and
like
side-eyeing you. Yes, yes. Thank you, Good Egg. By refusing to communicate with opposing counsel, that means opposing counsel has to try and resolve every matter through motions. Also, not going to age well for you, boo-boo, okay? Which Betty has to respond to, and clearly she can't. I love that. Wow. Which basically means Betty fucked herself. Oh my God.
Okay,
yeah,
Casey.
Your
Thanks
Honor,
for
I told
joining
him
me.
not to
Have
speak
a good
to me.
night, baby.
Until
Tell
we were
everyone
here
in
in
the
your
family I
presence.
said
And
hello.
the judge is going to be like, what? Oh my God. I still can't get over she actually emailed him. And it's got a date and a time and everything, proving that he does not have to respond to her at all. All he has to do is just motion after motion after motion. Girl, Betty, I hope you like court. I hope you like this shit, because you're going to be tied in this for a long time.
Yep, she's going to be
because instead
in
of just
some shit.
working it out with him back and forth, the ebb and flow of being part of a lawsuit, he's just going to file motion after fucking motion for you. Oh my God. You know what that means, Betty? That means more court docket entries, more things for me to download and pay for and review, to laugh at you. So once again, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate that, girl. Thank you. Patricia Sell, thank you so much. Thanks, Toasty. If judge hears BHB plans to marry herself, LMAO. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to come up, but that's just like... I cannot. Can we hear it one more time? Because it's just that great. Okay. Yes, I'll read the paragraph again. For those who just came in, it says,
Bye,
while
sweetheart.
BHB
Have a good
stated
night.
she was, quote, happy to work with you on this matter as I am opposing counsel by way of representing myself, end quote, she added, quote, I'm going to demand that you discontinue communication with her, or with me rather, until we are before the judge to discuss this very matter, end quote, in a July 20th, 2023 email. Oh my God. Oh my God, Betty. Oh, TikTok, Betty. Upsetty Betty, you got 28 days. Well, actually, this was, when did this come out? Let's see. The 20th. So she's got 28 days from then, I believe, to respond with her own, like, corrections. Oh my God. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for you to go watch this shit in person. Oh my God. And wear an epic toast costume. Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. Critical K, ignoring the other side's lawyer was stupid enough, but at least in that case, Critical K was the defendant, and refusing to accept the suit was real. Betty filed this suit, and she is now ignoring. Yikes, girl. Betty, I thought you were this like Billy badass that you were going to be like, yeah, I'm going to take these haters down, these cockroaches, and this is going to be the year of lawsuits, and I'm going to take Queen down, and da 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 da. And here we are faced with an actual attorney with an actual education. And I'm sorry, I hear crickets. Like, where are you? Respond, Betty, so I can review it, okay? Please. Oh my God, this is so great. And of course, the last page says, undersigned certifies and states that this document was filed using the court's Odyssey e-filing service and also served by electronic mail and regular mail to the persons below. Betty, they served you with this. They served you on July 20th, 2023. Oh my God, Betty, are you? Oh my God, I just thought of something. Betty, please tell me that you didn't send him that email telling him to leave you alone after he served this to you. Oh my God, please tell me that's not true. He served you something pertinent to the case to move forward the lawsuit, and then you emailed him on the same fucking day to tell him to leave you alone?
Yep, she sure did. Yep, that's how dumb that woman is.
Oh my God.
I
Are
love
you
burnt
serious?
toast. I do.
This
I
cannot
love
be
this
real
woman.
life. Are you for real, Betty? Oh my God. Bruh. Please tell me that you didn't email him after you were electronically and regularly mailed, like you were served electronic mail, which means email, and regular mail. So you got it both email and snail mail on the same day you sent him an email to not, oh my God,
Yeah, I
girl.
think in Illinois,
Oh
think
my
it's
God,
actually
please say
legal to serve
you
someone
didn't send him an
electronically.
email telling him to leave you alone after you were served. Oh my God. This is so much better than I thought it was going to be. Girl. No, that's not what you do. Oh, jeez. Thank you, Good Egg. Again, didn't it go badly for her last time she went in front of a judge for Crude's case? It sure did. I don't know what the judge actually said to her in that first case, the one where she was claiming like sexual harassment and lying on police reports and shit. But Crude's lawyer said that she was given a verbal lashing by the judge, which is why that second case that she wanted to do, she didn't want to go in front of the judge again because she would have to go to that same judge again. And I think that's why she wrote up a settlement statement like immediately. So, interesting. Why is she so confident that a hearing before the judge is going to go well for her? Ego, pride, narcissism, all of the things. I don't know. It's astounding.
Ignorance.
It is astounding that she thinks that this is how you go about behaving. Like, even if you weren't a paralegal and you didn't have any background in that and you didn't know what you were doing, a decent, like, common sense type person is not going to be served with a bill of particulars and then turn around immediately the same day and email the lawyer and be like, stop talking to me. Who does that? On top of the fact that she's just fucked herself over, like we've said earlier, is that now he doesn't actually have to communicate with her. He's just going to file motion after motion after motion, which means all of us have more content. So again,
True, we have
you know
more
what, Betty?
content, but it's also wasting the court time
I'm going to
too.
create a really cool meme to thank you, and I'm going to put it on my community tab. So just so that you know that I'm so appreciative of your behavior. I love this. This is fantastic. I love it. This may eat through Queen's retainer faster, though, if her lawyer has to file motion after motion. Well, here's the thing. If Betty does not cooperate, and then at a certain point, her lawyer can just file for a motion to dismiss. And if Betty is not doing what she's supposed to do, then it's my understanding, again, please correct me, Good Egg, okay? But it's my understanding that if it gets to the point where she's just not doing what she's supposed to do, at a certain point, it's going to be dismissed. And so at that point, then that frees Queen up to then countersue Betty. And again, that's where the fun begins. Who did she tell to leave her alone? The lawyer, Queen's lawyer. She told the lawyer to leave her alone. I cannot. Oh my God. I'm generally confused though. Does that mean the lawyer went back and added the fact that she emailed him on the same day? No. See, oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. So if he dated this the 20th, so she must have emailed him prior to him sending this. That's a very good point. Thank you. I will take that correction. So yeah, so it seems like she must have emailed him before he sent this for it to actually be in this. But that's just as bad. I mean, either way, to tell the counsel representing your defendant to basically fuck off and not talk to you anymore is so incredibly dumb. It's so dumb. Oh, see, Good Egg says, I will pay money to read more motions like this happily. Same. Everything that shows up on that docket, I'm paying for and I will be reviewing. For real, for real. I will absolutely be paying for all of it. Yeah, I was just confused. Thank you. I really appreciate that. For real. Simple Life Days. Thank you so much. Toasty, thank you for showing us a comedy show. I mean, it kind of really is. I did not think it was going to be this funny.
And that's why I like.
Good Egg says she can countersue at any time.
Like
there are many ways forward, but yes. Bullhorn Betty will eat up many billable hours. That's why people donated to QueenBee's legal fund, because it's not fair how BHB is trying to hurt her. I completely agree.
Out there even more, which helps her make
and
money.
If you go to my Twitter, it's pinned. The link to the PayPal pool is still open.
That's what it's all about.
And what happens is every time he bills hours and it gets down, I think she said it gets down to about $1,000. Then she takes some of the money out of her PayPal pool and other things that people have been donating to and puts that money into the trust. And then he starts billing out of that. So she's been putting chunks of money in there to make sure it never gets down too low and he can continue to do his job. And I have to say, he's badass. I like him a lot. So BHB did this to herself. So I mean, I completely agree.
Toast at
completely 100% agree. She did this to herself. That's completely incompetent lawyer. Better listen to the Betty. Oh my God. Mystery Maven needs to review it and add this to her clown law stuff. Oh, I think Mystery Maven should do it. I think other people should do it. I think this should be an example of why YouTubers who like to be litigious to basically harass and intimidate other YouTubers, it should not be allowed. For real. Like, this is ridiculous. Betty never thought Queen would have the support she has. I agree. I think that she saw her as an easy mark and underestimated it.
Easy mark and thought
a lot. Underestimated it a lot.
I think
habitual litigators.
She would just settle, and QueenBee ain't going to do that. Her community
hit her
really
with that 12B motion. I don't know what 12B is, but I hope it's a good one. BHB saw Critical K's loss and the money she had to pay and got excited. Betty, you are the one who is going to be paying. Right. See, Bullhorn Betty posted on our community tab, interesting, and then posted a picture of, or screenshot of how Critical K got a judgment against her. Well, Betty, that's not you, though. Like, you do understand that, Betty. Like, this is not... Okay, well, she'll find out. And she'll have as much support as she needs. Yeah, absolutely. Like, even before I knew Queen very well, I have always said on this platform, since she started fucking with Crude from the very beginning, that if anyone had the guts and the persistence to take this all the way and not let her get away with it this again, I would 100% support her. And that's what I'm doing right now, period. Okay. Yes. Let me get it. Actually, get the link. Okay. So here is the legal fund. You can do it anonymously. I'm going to pin this at the top. There is a way to do it anonymously, so you do not have to give your name or anything like that. If you look down, there's other 85 other donations so far, and there's a lot of people that are posting anonymously. So I just want to add that because some people were asking.
I will make sure.
And there's an updates tab where she talked about 12 days ago that she had enough to retain and hire a lawyer. She will be posting more updates on that, and of course, I will be updating people. If you have questions, feel free to ask Queen, because like I said, there were people that were saying that Queen was scamming, that she didn't actually get a lawyer, she was lying. And it's like, listen, all you have to do is ask. And people that have asked, I've given them the link. They can go and look at the docket and see for themselves that her lawyer there, Mr. Jonathan Phillips, is listed as her lawyer, and Andra, of course, is pro se. So Shauna, thank you so much. Welcome to the dumpster fire. Yes, this fight is for Crew too. What she did to him and his family was awful. She needs to be stopped, and she will be stopped. I agree. Like, seriously, enough is enough, right? Like, if you are such a coward that you can't handle people criticizing you on this platform, that you have to go to this length, there's something wrong. Right. Good Egg is not a lawyer,
if you're
guys.
going to get on a platform
she's not
like
ever claimed to be one.
Put
but
yourself
she does
out
have a lot
there.
of
You better
legal knowledge. Clearly, a lot more than Betty
some
does.
people on here can be really brutal.
QueenBee just posted the legal fund link on her community tab post as well. Okay, thank you, Mercedes. I appreciate that. Yes, so it's pinned at the top of my chat right now. Excuse me. And it's also on Queen's community tab post. You know, I wish that YouTube would allow you to pin community tab posts just like you can pin it in the chat. I think YouTube should do that, because sometimes I've wanted to do that and it's just not available. There is one more thing I wanted to show you guys. And it is a short clip of what she did today. And this is what I'm talking about. So this is today. Okay. Is it today? Was it today? The 24th. Yeah, this is from the 24th. In fact, this was the live. This is part of the live that she did this afternoon. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Spring, but that's not how the law works. So cry into your pillow. Don't time them out. Just let them into the abyss. So Bullhorn Betty actually said this on her live stream today. And the reason why this is so interesting is here she is in the middle of a lawsuit, and she is still continuing to talk shit about Queen. Queen is not going live. Since this whole lawsuit happened, you're not seeing Queen go live and review Bullhorn Betty anymore. You notice that? Notice how people on her panel are not sitting around talking about Bullhorn Betty anymore? There's a reason for that, because they're in the middle of an actual lawsuit. Bullhorn Betty keeps forgetting that, apparently. Remember, friends, when Betty is emailing nonsense to QueenBee's attorney, insanely rambling on and telling him to leave her alone, QueenBee has to pay for that. If that makes you angry, please donate. That's what Good Egg says, and I concur. Yep. Okay, so this is, yeah, so I'm just going to play the clip.
You wonder how all this bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, you know? But I think this really does kind of, you know, explain a lot. I think it really does. It's almost ready. Here, I want you guys to watch.
I don't enjoy hurting people. I don't enjoy seeing people hurt. I don't enjoy saying things that make people feel bad. That isn't inherent to who I am. But I value truth and love more than making people feel good temporarily. That to me is a bigger issue. And it's simple. Would I want somebody to tell me what I wanted to hear if it wasn't the truth? No.
This is pretty ironic considering she runs her chat like an absolute safe space. You give her any kind of criticism at all, she's going to label you a troll or a hater or a cockroach or a jellyfish or ad nauseum. And then she will just absolutely shut the conversation down, block you, whatever. So this is pretty rich coming from her.
I'd be pissed. That's not my friend.
Yeah,
my friend
and
tells me the
now
truth first. That's what I want in my own life.
can't
Good friends,
comment.
tell me that.
They
I'm more
have to
concerned
be
if
a
you're afraid to tell
subscriber
people the
for
truth because of
5
what they think of you. Like,
days
what kind of friends do you have?
before they can even comment on
It's
her
pretty
lives.
ironic.
Just
Huh?
saying. Just saying. So I get a lot of powerful messaging. I really do. I listen to a lot of stuff. I listen to a lot of people that inspire us to do better, that, teach us how to be more productive, that tell us, how to get the noise out of our life. I'm constantly trying to find ways to improve and better myself.
Yikes. This is how you do that, Betty? Frivolous lawsuits to harass people. Kind of sounds on brand for you, to be honest with you. Moses' mom,
It's
welcome to the
100%
dumpsters.
Bullhorn
Dumpster fire.
Betty.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Spring, nobody's saying that. If you need some attention, seek therapy.
And leave all the noise behind. I can't help who is jealous of me. And let's be honest, somebody that stalks you for 2 years is either obsessed or jealous or a little bit of both. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, right? When you follow and hop and follow a creator from one thing to another for the sole purpose of trying to get their attention. And when you don't get their attention, you go after them even harder and harder and harder and harder. Well, I don't listen to any of that.
You don't.
I
She doesn't listen to any of that, but yet she's suing Queen for the claims that she just said. God, you are dumb. Do you not realize that this is yet another clip that Queen can send to her lawyer? Oh my God. Okay.
I gotta keep the noise out. And that's why we have moderators and why we work so very hard to keep all the crap out of our chat room. You wonder how all this bada bing, bada boom.
So, I mean, first she plays a clip from TikTok claiming that she has an open mind and open heart when it comes to people telling her things that she doesn't want to hear. And then she spends the other half of the clip talking about how she shuts her chat down and makes sure that there's no crap in there. Okay. But yeah, this clip was absolutely sent to Queen by probably multiple people, and it will be sent to her lawyer. So have fun with that, Betty. This is from this from a lady with a bullhorn. I mean, yeah. She's going to start a Bible study group. Oh my God. Yes, that's exactly what YouTube needs, is more drama and more people screaming about the Bible while you harass families. Yes, of course, that is exactly what we need, for fuck's sake. You saw when she flat out accused Billy Joe of, yes, I did see that clip. That was Tragedy Pimps Exposed. If one of my mods can post the link to that. Wow. That was awful. So yeah, Tragedy Pimps Exposed posted the clip today, and I watched it this afternoon, and I was floored. The things that she was saying. Don't be mean, she'll call the FBI on you. That's hilarious. Isolationist, thank you so much for cue the laughing hyena gif. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, it's pretty funny, huh? I could not. I read that and I was like, Betty, oh, thank you so much. Let me grab that link. Hold on 1 second, because I don't see it in the chat. The crying baby was beyond sickening. It really was.
But yeah, that, kind of covers the initial part of this case, and where it all really got started. This is where this part right here proves that QueenBee does have an attorney. unlike a lot of what Bullhorn Betty's followers are saying that she's scamming people, but that's not the case. And this lawsuit has been ongoing for over a year now. So, but tomorrow we will get into the actual court filing papers and the lawsuit itself and see all the shenanigans that old BHB is pulling. So I want to thank everyone again for joining me. And if you're watching the replay, comment below and hit hashtag replay. And, let me know what you think. And remember, always be kind to one another. Y'all have a great night. Bye. And here's the outro.